We all love our cup of chai and coffee in the morning, don't we? It wakes us up, makes us feel energized, and we feel like we can take on the day just because we've had that one cup of tea or coffee in the morning. But have you really wondered what this tea and coffee is doing to your body? Don't worry, it's not one of those videos where I'm going to tell you tea and coffee, especially drinking in the morning, is poison for you. Rather, it is one of those videos which is going to give you the Ayurvedic perspectives on tea and coffee. So, tea and coffee is one of those things which really keeps us going throughout the day. But tea and coffee, or anything as a matter of fact we drink in Ayurveda, has an impact on our doshas, its stability in our body, how we feel, how we act. Caffeine, even though it's a stimulant, can have really bad effects on your body. Like for some people, their moods can be a little destabilized throughout the day. For some people, they suffer through acidity, indigestion, just because they're having a lot of caffeine throughout the day. In this video, I'm going to tell you what caffeine is actually doing to your body based on your particular body type. And in the second part of the video, I'm going to give you some amazing tips that you can use to enhance your tea and coffee experience. But before we start this video, make sure you take the dosha test, the link for which I've given in the description below. And this dosha test is going to give you an idea what your particular body type is, whether you're a vata predominant, kapha predominant, or pitta predominant body type. Before we understand what tea and coffee are really doing to your body, we must know that there are some rules that you really need to play by when you're dealing with tea and coffee. Number one rule that I swear by as an Ayurvedic expert is not having any sort of caffeine on an empty stomach, especially in the morning time. The reason why we tell you to do that is the morning time is basically the time when your body has already fasted for a very, very long time. The 8 to 10 hours fasting that has happened has made the body a little empty. There is a heat which is generating, and this time is the time that your cortisol levels have also started acting up to take you through the day. Now, what happens when you drink coffee or tea empty stomach? You get more acidity, the gut lining is disrupted, and the cortisol levels, which basically are responsible for your moods, are also disrupted. That means having tea or coffee, especially on an empty stomach in the morning, is an absolutely bad idea, especially if you have gut issues. Rather, move your morning tea and coffee to the time between 8 am to 10 am, which is a kapha predominant time, considered relatively ideal for drinking tea or coffee. Second rule that I swear by is not having caffeine with anything that contains salt. That means any cookie, any bread, any paratha that you eat with your tea and coffee, especially if you're adding milk in your tea and coffee, is an absolute creation of disaster in your stomach. Mixing salt with milk is considered Virudh Ahar in Ayurveda, and we always recommend people who drink milk-based tea or coffee not to mix it up with cookies, salt-based biscuits, or anything that has salt in it. In general, also it is recommended not to mix your tea or coffee with anything else. Number 3 rule that I always almost recommend to anybody I meet, even if they're having high amounts of caffeine, is not to brew your tea and coffee for too long. Maximum 2 minutes of brewing is enough to take out a good amount of caffeine content from tea and coffee, and beyond that, you're just adding more and more acidic compounds like tannins to your preparation. These tannins or anything that comes out after the caffeine content is not entirely always helpful for your gut lining. So you have to ensure that you're not brewing your tea or coffee for way too long. 2 minutes is the time that I use. And if you're not comfortable, or if you're somebody who likes a heavily brewed tea, then I would suggest move to tea leaves used either in a steel strainer, or use tea bags which are based out of silk that can help you understand to brew your tea only for those 2 minutes and then take out the bag as and when you feel comfortable. This process allows your gut to be prepared for tea in a better way because it contains the caffeine content, which in small quantities is considered a good stimulant, yet keeps you away from the harmful things like tannins. Now we move on to this section where I'm going to tell you what tea and coffee is doing for your particular body type. Number one body type, which is a Vata predominant body type. When caffeine enters a Vata predominant body type, we often see that these people are more likely to feel more restless, anxious, worrisome, and also there is a little instability in their behaviors after having caffeine. Vata predominant people are asked actually to stay away from coffee and tea as much as possible, and I am going to be telling solutions in the next part of the video. But for now, it is important to understand that if you're a Vata predominant body type, you will experience some more enhanced effects of aggravation of Vata in general. If you're somebody who has a Vata skin problem or a dry skin problem, you will experience that the more coffee you have, the drier your skin will also be. The drier your gut will also be, and constipation issues will only arise. Number two body type, which is the Pitta body type. Now, Pitta represents a certain sense of heat. Caffeine in general is heating for the system. The whole preparation of tea and coffee, when it's made, the way it's made with a certain kind of heat in it, is automatically hot in nature. Pitta people will often experience that after having caffeine or coffee or tea in general, they will experience acidity, acid reflux, and discomfort in their stomach or gut lining. They can also experience more skin rashes, inflammation if they are having high quantities of these preparations on a daily basis. Number three body type, which is the Kapha body type. Now, this is the safest body type in my perspective, which is actually sometimes even recommended to have caffeine like tea or coffee. A moderate amount of caffeine is actually even recommended to Kapha predominant people, which can combat their sluggishness and bring out some energy in their already lethargic bodies. Not all Kapha body types will benefit from caffeine because there are sometimes two doshas which are predominating in one body. So you have to be careful in understanding how your particular body is reacting. Even if you're a Kapha body type, it does not mean that you overdo the consumption of caffeine. In the long run, overconsumption of caffeine will definitely deplete your energy reserves and will eventually make you feel sluggish in the long run. I am a Pitta Vata body type. Now, what does that really mean for me? That means I have to balance out my tea or coffee based on my particular dosha type. Let's understand how, for your particular body type, you can fix your tea and coffee using some basic Ayurvedic perspectives. Number one body type, which is the Vata predominant body type, which is more likely to get restless, anxious, worrisome by drinking regular tea or coffee. The way that a Vata body type can enhance their tea or coffee experience is by adding herbs like licorice, ginger, and cinnamon. These herbs are highly Vata pacifying and can balance out the bad effects of caffeine, which cause that cortisol disruption in your body and cause more stress to your physiology. In addition to adding these herbs, you can also go for adding 1 teaspoon or half a teaspoon of ghee in both your tea and coffee. The impact of ghee on your body is basically pacifying any sort of dosha imbalance which can be caused by Vata aggravation that is associated with caffeine content. Ghee is not considered very palatable by most of you, but trust me, once you start drinking ghee tea or ghee coffee, it's actually quite a good of a replacement for your regular tea and coffee. Another way that Vata people can balance out the bad effects of tea or coffee is by always using full fat milk added to their tea or coffee. Black tea or black coffee is an absolute no-no for this particular body type. The next body type is the Pitta body type, which is already a hot-headed one. What tea and coffee really do to this body type is bring more heat. So we take care of balancing out that heat. And how do we do that? By adding cooling herbs like fennel and cardamom. These two herbs are really good for balancing out the heating effect of coffee and tea in general. In addition to this, similar to Vata body types, you can also make ghee tea and ghee coffee, which is also considered very good for Pitta body types. Cooling milks like almond milk and coconut milk can also be used as a replacement for full fat milk in case of Pitta body types. Number 3 body type is the Kapha body type, which, as I told you, is one of the safest body types to experiment with coffee or tea. These body types can actually add more of stimulating herbs to their coffee or tea like ginger, tulsi, black pepper, clove. All of them will only help energize and stimulate their lethargic and sluggish kapha body types. These body types are not recommended to have full fat milk or any sort of milk or sugar based substances in their coffee or tea. Rather, black coffee, if I were to recommend it to anyone, it would be a kapha body type. We've understood now how we can enhance our tea and coffee experience with these small Ayurvedic changes that can be brought about on a daily basis. However, Ayurveda will never really recommend tea and coffee on a daily basis. If you are a person who wants to make that change in your life, then I have the perfect list of teas to add into your daily routine to replace your tea and coffee. My first recommendation to Vata predominant body type people would be something called Vata tea. This is a tea which is a combination of these calming herbs like ginger, cinnamon, licorice, all of them which pacify the Vata dosha. Now remember, Vata dosha causes that irregularity in your hormones, irregularity in your thinking, and if you want to calm down that worry, if you want to calm down that anxiety in your day, then Vata tea is an ideal replacement for your tea and coffee. I always imagine somebody like Ranveer Singh benefiting a lot from using something like Vata tea because it does tend to calm you down in the best of circumstances when you really need it. So if I were to recommend something that is an ideal replacement for Vata type individuals, that's a Vata tea. For my next hot-headed Pitta body type, I would recommend something that is cooling and mild to your gut, which is a Pitta tea. Pitta tea has a great combination of cooling and mild herbs like licorice, cardamom and dried rose petals, which are ideal for a person who faces acidity, acid reflux issues and a gastric discomfort after drinking their regular tea or coffee. This is an ideal replacement because this tea is very cooling for those hot-headed and angry Pitta people who are running up and about and are very aggressive in nature. This tea is pretty safe for all age groups as well, and if you would like to give it to those angry teenagers, then this is also an ideal tea. Finally, I have the ideal replacement for tea or coffee if you want that stimulation throughout the day as well as you want the brilliant effects of energizing your body, then the perfect replacement for that is kapha tea. Now, kapha tea has immensely stimulating herbs like ginger, clove, black pepper, all of those herbs which help stimulate, energize your body in a very natural, healthy manner. Kapha tea is also beneficial for those who are looking for weight loss, who are looking for just general extreme activity throughout their day. Anybody who would like to do extreme amounts of exercise, running, or is an athlete but does not want to depend on caffeine because of its ill effects on their hormones can replace it easily with kapha tea. Kapha tea is considered an ideal replacement for your regular tea and coffee, especially for kapha predominant people because it does have a spicy and stimulating taste which can easily replace that feeling of sluggishness or lethargy that exists in kapha predominant people. In this video, I've told you a bunch of things that you can start doing right now to enhance your tea and coffee experience using Ayurvedic perspectives and some bare minimum elements that already exist in your kitchen. This video does not tell you that caffeine, tea or coffee in general is good for you. Ayurveda never really asks us to depend on these things to go throughout our day. Rather, the energy levels in our body should be naturally there so that we are not dependent on stimulation from outside agencies. However, in this day and age, we do understand that some people like to have their caffeine and they are definitely not going to change it for Ayurveda. So this video is just there to help you understand how you can make this subtler, softer and smoother for your gut so that you don't get the bad effects of caffeine. If you would like to know what your particular dosha type is and are not really clear what exactly your body type is according to Ayurveda, then there is another video which I've already talked about and explained what your particular body type is. Watch that video and come back and see what your tea and coffee experience will be like. If you'd like to know more about Ayurveda, do visit our website www.marshiayurvedaindia.com. If you'd like a personalized Vaidya consultation, call the number here and they will take you through your personal journey on Ayurveda. Make sure you like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and do comment below whether you're able to enhance your tea and coffee experience through the lens of Ayurveda or not. Thank you so much for joining us. Jai Gurudev.